Right then, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Paul. I'm also called Knack, and you possibly know me from my range of daily brain teaser quizzes. You'll see the next one flow up tomorrow morning. I also have this bad habit of watching TV and watching movies, and given the right encouragement or the right sort of mood, I'm happy to talk about them and put my thoughts to video as well. I'm something of a Doctor Who fan and have been for some years. If you've not seen it, it's a British science fiction show about a time travelling alien who's got a ship that's bigger on the inside. I've just watched the second episode of season 12. It's Spyfall Part 2, and I've got to admit to enjoying it. It's flawed, what show isn't, but I think it's quite good and very watchable. Let me try and summarise, shall I? Spyfall Part 2 follows up from last week's episode and sees a panicked Ryan, Graham and Yaz, Tosin Cole, Bradley Walsh and Mandip Gill, respectively, having to get themselves out of a jumbo jet that's had its cockpit blown off by a bomb. Obviously, this is not something that usually happens, and it's a bit of a style cramper. At any rate, they've got to try and land the ship with no cockpit, and with only help from Ryan's phone and a video from the Doctor. The Doctor herself, Jodie Whittaker, is trapped in a weird alternative realm that looks vaguely like some kind of strange forest. She's met there by a woman who introduces herself as Ada, and who seems to come from the early 19th century. And Ada is being haunted by beings she calls the Kasavin, who are the creatures invading Earth, from what we've seen in the previous episode and in this episode. Now, in trying to escape from where they are, the Doctor and Ada first end up in 1830s London, where the Doctor finds out that Ada is in fact the world's first computer programmer, Ada Lovelace, and she also meets Charles Babbage, her co-worker, her co-computer geek. And then the pair are eventually shifted to the Nazi-occupied Paris in 1943, picking up famous spy Nur Inayat Khan en route. Having to get the family to safety in the early 21st century is of course, practically incidental, but something they managed to do. The family, Graham and the company, end up in Essex, and end up tracking down Daniel Barton, Lenny Henry's warehouse, and have to try and stop him leading the Kasavan invasion. The fact that they want to know a bit more about the Doctor is a side issue at this point. Let's get that invasion stopped first, seems to be the theme of the day. Now, did I enjoy the episode? Are there good points? Are there bad points? Yes, there's flaws. Of course there are. Nothing is perfect. I think we could have maybe seen a little more of Ada Lovelace and Charles Babbage. They're as important as Rosa Parks, I'd have said. We could have seen more maybe of Inayat Khan. The woman was a winner of one of the highest gallantry awards you can be given here in the UK, and I think that's a minor point. Her story isn't really known to people, and could have, having a Doctor Who episode about her, which is maybe mentioned in depth, could have been an ideal way to introduce her to more people, I think. I would have liked to have seen Daniel Barton's storyline, the Lenny Henry character's storyline, tied off a bit more definitively. I would have liked to have seen a big reveal for the Kasavian as well, but I suspect in both cases, much as I would have liked to have seen them tonight, there's other stuff going on, and I suspect their storylines may be finished off later. We don't know yet. I have to say, even with those flaws, this is still a story that romps along very well. It moves, it's pacey, it ties up what it can, and shows and resolves the various bits of storyline quite nicely, or the tied up bits of storyline quite nicely. It's also got and this is only episode 2, it's got the performance of a lifetime from Sacha Dhawan and from Jodie Whittaker, as respectively as the Master and the Doctor. The Master's up to something. He's quite explicitly stated he's destroyed Gallifrey in order to make the Time Lords pay for the lies they've told him and the Doctor. There's this whole speech Dhawan goes through as the Master, and it's riveting stuff. There's not just that. There's the Doctor and the Master's interactions with each other. Riveting watches. Really are worth watching this. It's really worth watching this episode just to see those parts where the two of them are interacting with each other. It really is something to watch, and I hope it's something we see focused on in this series. It's an absolute blinder of a set of storylines. Granted, this second episode is flawed, but yes, this is a very well done overall, a well done, well paced, well written, very well acted episode. The regular cast are calming down. The two leads, in this case, Dhawan and Whittaker, are really proving their mettle. Lenny Henry, I suspect, is I'll probably get a look here. Lenny Henry is, if used properly, I suspect is going to be a very dark stalking horse as well in this. He could prove to be quite an interesting villain, I think. I say the same as I said last week in last week's video review. I want to see more of this series. I think it looks good. Catch you next Sunday, folks.